Hi there, my merry Vikings. I'm so glad to be back. Today we're going to look at the various foods, potions and armor we have available to us in the Mistlands and how we could use them in our fight against the Queen. Fighting the Queen is challenging, and to assure a successful fight that doesn't take too long, you will need to choose the most suitable food and potions to go with your armor and weapons. Different foods provide different benefits, and depending on how you wish to fight, you will need to balance the different types of food with the various potions and weapons and armor. I have the best food here on this table. The food fall into three main categories. The high health food will give mostly health and a little bit of stamina, while the high stamina food will give mostly stamina and a little health. There is also the Iter giving food, which is a combination of Iter, health and stamina. Some of the food may be unfamiliar. I have included the recipe and the benefits of each food on the screen, so feel free to pause the video if you wish to view the information at your leisure. The high health food includes the honey glazed chicken, the meat platter, the Misthair Supreme and the serpent stew. Not everyone chooses to kill the serpent, as it takes a bit of time and luck to find it, and you need the right location to kill it safely. But if you do get to kill it, the serpent stew gives 80 health. That's very good. The Misthair Supreme offers 85 health, which is even better. But killing the hair will take a bit of time to collect a substantial amount of meat. It is doable, just time intensive. I suggest locating a Mistland that is near to a swamp. I find it easier to hunt the hares where the two biomes overlap a bit. You will be able to kill some hares and pick up the meat dropped by hares killed by swamp mobs. That makes collecting the meat so much easier. You could visit several such sites and rinse and repeat, like when some of you use portals to visit tar pits one after another to get enough tar. Eating all three high health foods will give a bonus of 245 health over the base of 25 health. That means 265 initial health decaying over 25 minutes till it reaches the base health of 25. The high stamina food has the salad, the mushroom omelette and the fish and bread. The fish and bread is really good with 90 stamina, but is made from 1 anglerfish and 2 bread dough. The bread dough is easy enough, but catching the anglerfish requires a bit of work, so that may discourage some players. If any of you have any secret methods of getting plenty of anglerfish, please do share down in the comments section. Stamina is really useful for ranged attacks, but eating all three of the stamina foods to use with normal ranged combat is not recommended, as the Queen has a resistance against pierce damage. So you definitely need to combine it with strength. Anyway, eating all three stamina will give you 275 initial stamina that decays down to 50 base stamina over 25 minutes. The next category is the Iter giving foods. The stuffed mushroom, the Yggdrasil porridge, and the seeker aspic fall into this category. If you want to use any magic, you have to eat at least 1 or 2 of these foods. 2 is probably the best for the minimum. Eating them also gives a little health and stamina. The seeker aspic is the best of these, with 85 Iter, 28 health, and 14 stamina, followed by the Yggdrasil porridge with 80 Iter, 27 health and 13 stamina. Eating all three will give 240 Iter, 80 health and 39 stamina. We also have some very useful new potions now that we are in the Mistlands. On this table over here, we can see the major healing mead that gives plus 125 HP over time, the lingering stamina mead that gives plus 25% stamina regen, and the minor Iter mead that gives plus 125 Iter over time. There is one more potion that is needed, the poison resist. You definitely must consume this no matter which type of fight you engage in. This is because poison damage is part of the Queen's attack. You can combine the foods in any way you want. You can have 1 high health, 1 high stamina, and 1 high magic, for example. What is important is that you get what you want out of it. For example, if you are not going to use magic, don't eat any of the Iter giving foods, unless you have no other food. So plan ahead and make the food you need according to how you're going to fight. For armor, with the recent update, the best choices are the level 4 padded armor set, the level 3 carapace armor set, or the level 3 Itra weave set. At this point, we can only make level 3 weapons and armor for the Mistlands. As I have already mentioned in my previous video, the Queen is very difficult. However, it is still a doable fight. It may just take a bit longer if you don't get it right. If you choose to go the magic route, you could do 1 high health and 2 Itra giving foods. I advise eating the best high health food you can make for this combination. I would wear the level 3 carapace armor. If you don't have the carapace armor set, use the level 4 padded armor. I would also use the minor Itra mead and the major health mead besides the poison resist mead. Even the lingering stamina mead would be useful. Despite the armor, your health drops pretty fast if you are constantly hit by the Queen or other mobs. It is difficult to avoid damage, and you don't want to have instant death the moment you are hit by a mob or even the Queen. You want to be able to run to a safer area before you become a tombstone. So, having the potions are a necessity, more so than any other boss so far. Keeping your distance from the Queen is not going to be sufficient this time. There is still a possibility she can pop in right beside you and hit you before you are aware. Plus, the Seekers have a tendency to swarm, and despite having low damage, the Seeker brood can be just that little bit too much damage that causes you to die. However, if you are nimble or just plain stubborn and refuse to give up like me, I highly recommend this next combo. Consume 3 Itra giving foods. Personally, I have come to like this combination of food. Combining this with the Itra weave set will give your spells that extra bang, especially with the minor Itra mead. And if you can keep dying to a minimum, it is really OP. Fighting with magic is meant for fighting from a distance or from behind some sort of defensive structure. Just remember, if you are hit, especially if you are using the mage armor, you are a goner. The Itra weave set gives you a plus 40% Itra regeneration bonus to your spell casting, but very little armor. You would be exchanging faster magic regeneration for very little health. So you have to decide which fight style suits you best and match the food accordingly. However, I still feel it's worth it. Once you have killed the Queen for the first time, you will gain access to the Queen's power. Besides increasing damage to rocks by 50%, the more useful ability is increased Itra regeneration by 100%. That would make fighting with magic even better. I can understand that some of you might just prefer to fight the Queen using melee, at least initially. That is definitely how I felt at first. You will definitely need a lot of high health and some form of stamina. So, if you are going for full melee, I would go with either 2 high health and 1 high stamina food, or 3 high health food. High health is very important in melee, but you often run out of stamina fast, and that can be deadly. You could use the Extra Power, which reduces the stamina cost of running and jumping by 60%. However, I think the Bowman's power of resistance against blunt, slash and pierce damage is very useful, and you should use it. So, maybe using the lingering stamina mead might be a better option than the Extra Power. Armor would definitely be either the level 4 padded armor set or the level 3 carapace armor set, or anything higher if it has become available by the time you're watching this video. I have not covered weapons, but the food for melee or magic would still apply no matter what weapons you use for each category. I will cover weapons in my next video. There is another way to fight, which is also my preferred way. This is to combine magic and melee. There are advantages to this, you know, but I will discuss this in my next video, Tips for Fighting the Queen. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing so you don't miss out on any notifications. It helps me with the algorithm and my path towards monetization. and other benefits as a channel. Bye, my merry Vikings! See you next time!